What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mr. Joe's Dinger City Power Rankings. These are going to be the power rankings for Week 2, so Week 2 has already occurred. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on Dinger City's channel. I linked us down below. So, I'm going to start off with saying that there are two new players to the club. We've got two new members. One is a returning member, one is a brand new member. And still, Gil, Cokes, and Huge have not played this season. So, we're going to start off right away with number 15. It's Nolan. Nolan making his first appearance of the season. He, back to his old form, as you could say. He did not pick up a win. Losses to Tyler, Billy, Andrew, T-Bling, and Nick. So, not a great week for Nolan, but I think he has the potential there. He's had some close games, 0-2 to Andrew, 2-3 to Billy, 5-9 to Nick. So the potential's there. Nolan can only go up from here. So I'd expect Nolan to maybe claim a spot or two higher eventually. But, when you don't win any games, you're going to get the 15 spot. Coming in at number 14, we've got Spencer. Spencer did not make an appearance this week, so he didn't really have a chance to move up. I do think he's better than Nolan, at the moment at least. So he remains 0-3 on the season. Only up from here for him as well. Coming in at number 13, we've got Billy. Billy went 1-3 on the week, bringing their record to 2-5 on the season. Mercied by Dennis, lost to Connor, who was a new player, 0-9, a 4-1 loss to Dan, and a 3-2 win over Nolan. So, when your win's over a player that's ranked last, it's not going to do you too much good, but I don't think they can move below Spencer because Spencer didn't put up any games, and Spencer still doesn't have a win. So, at the moment, Billy at 13, I think they're going to stay around that spot, at least for the time being. Maybe some late season shenanigans, who knows. Number 12, we've got Dan. So Dan, another player who struggled a little bit this week. He went 1-5, bringing his season record to 2-7. He lost to Jason, myself, T-Bling, and Andrew, and he had a win over Billy. So, he gets that one spot over Billy because he had the win over them, but otherwise, not too much movement from Dan there. Now, moving on to the number 11 spot, we have Tommy. Tommy didn't play at all this week. He remains 2-1, but I can't move him up. He moved down a spot technically because our next player, Tyler, had actually had a very good week, in my opinion. He lost to Andrew in a very tight game. It was a bit of a weird team situation. If you watch it down below, it's on the Dinger City channel. He is 3-3 now in the season after an 0-2 start, and he has wins over Lionel and Maddie and Nolan. But wins over Lionel and Maddie are excellent. He took it 8-4 and 8-5 over the two of them. So a good showing from Tyler, and I think he has the potential to move back up, maybe a return to his old form after a rough start. Who knows? But good stuff from Tyler this week. I think he's starting to kind of get back into the groove of things. Coming in at number 10, we've got Jason. So this is going to be a little weird one, seeing Jason and then the next player we'll get to. Jason had a win over Dan, a win over Lionel, and a win over Nick, and then he lost to Connor and myself. So those are good wins. Lionel and Nick, great wins. Both players, as you can see, are ranked above him. But I think that he needs just to continue doing this. I just need to see it after a rough first week. I need to see that Jason can really, he's back and he's consistent. And once I see that, I think he has potential to move up, 4 spots, potentially. Maybe not at once, but over time, I do think Jason has the potential to be a top 5 player. It's just a matter of showing that he can be consistent. So if we can see that from Jason, he's going to be a top-level threat in the club this season. Coming in at number 8, this is why it's a little weird, we have Lionel. Now, if you look here, Lionel did not have a great week. He went 1-5, lost to Maddie, Tyler, Nick, T-Bling, and Jason. So, he loses to Tyler and Jason, who are both below him. You'd think, after a week like this, Lionel surely has to be below Jason. But I need more. I need to know for sure that Lionel has fallen from grace and that Jason can take his spot. And I'm not super comfortable saying that Lionel is a worse player just because of one bad week. I've had a bad week before. Last season, I had a week exactly like this. I went 1-5, and then I went on to win 17 games in a row. So, you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes this is the kick in the ass you need to kind of boost yourself up to being a top player. And Lionel has the potential. He's been there. He's been on top. He's won a World Series. So I don't think I'm comfortable putting him below, Jason or Tyler or anything just yet. But if he has another week like this, then obviously the conversation for him to start sliding down is absolutely there. But not just yet. I still have faith in our boy. Coming in at number 7, we've got Maddie. So Maddie went 3-2 on the week, bringing his record to 5-4. Wins over Lionel, Connor, and myself, which are all really good wins. You guys don't know Connor just yet, but we will get to him. And a loss to Nick and Tyler. So respectable losses. Tyler kind of getting back on his feet, and Nick a very strong threat in the club. So I think that Maddie, while he is sliding a little bit, if he keeps having weeks like this, he's going to be just fine. And my cats are going nuts in the background. He's going to be just fine. There's not going to be any problem for Maddie going forward. He could even make a impressive playoff run once again like he had last season when he made it to the World Series. So Maddie, while he did move down a little bit, I think he's got the potential to keep climbing. Coming in at number 6, we've got Andrew. Andrew, another player who moved down. He went 3-3 on the week, moving up to a 9-4 record. Losses to Dennis, Nick, and T-Bling, all very respectable, and wins over Nolan, Dan, and Tyler. So the biggest reason I have Andrew losing down is because he lost to good players, and he only beat worse players than him. Dan and Nolan, not top of the food chain by any means. Tyler, a pretty mid-level threat. So while he did have a good week, Tyler played him close, Nolan played him close. So a 3-3, it's not really going to keep you in your, top 3 or 4 spot, which I think I had him last week. So Andrew is going to kind of end up here. I think this is where he belongs. I think he's in the 5-6 spot generally, maybe 7. But I don't think he's a top 3 threat anymore. His first week was very impressive, but I think this is what you expect from him. I personally think that first week may have been an outlier, but who knows? It's a long season. Andrew's a great player, and if he's on, he's unstoppable. So if he can just stay focused and stay on his game for a full season, then he's top 2. But who knows? Consistency is key, right? Okay, so coming in at number 5, we've got T-Bling. So T-Bling had a big week. He played 8 games, I believe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 games, going up to an 8-5 record. His losses came to Nick, myself, and Connor, so all strong players, and his wins came over Lionel, Dan, Maddie, Nolan, and Andrew. So 3 of those are very impressive wins. So big week for T-Bling. He's a very strong player. He's kind of solidified himself in my brain as one of these top 5 threats, but he really needs to get the big wins to kind of convince me that he can be a top 3 or a top 4 threat. So at the moment, I have him at number 5. I do think he has potential. Tom is a great player. It's a matter of time before he starts, taking these big wins over the top 3 or top 4, whatever you want to call it. But at the moment, he sits in the number 5 spot. Very respectable showing from Tom. Coming in at number 4, we've got Crit Nick, Mr. Nick himself. He had a huge week. He went 5-1 on the week with wins over T-Bling, Andrew, Maddie, Lionel, Nolan, and a loss to Jason. So T-Bling, Andrew, Maddie, Lionel. Those are the 4 players directly below him, and he actually jumped up above 2 of them that were above him. Actually, all 3 of them were above him last week, so T-Bling should technically be in red there. But Nick, absolutely stellar performance. He put on a show. He did a fantastic job, and if he can keep doing this, then he's going to be a top-level threat guaranteed. Nick's always been a solid player. He's always been good. He's always been, a kind of player you had to worry about. But like this, if he keeps rolling like this, he's 8-4 now. If he keeps rolling like this, he's going to be a top 3 player. And I know he has the potential, but again, what I said about him last time, or maybe the first Power Rankings preseason, he doesn't really crush anyone. I mean, if you look at these games here, 8-7, 7-4, 7-3, 4-3, 9-5 against Nolan, you got to see Nick, beat Nolan 9-1, 9-0, mercy him, something like that. Players like Maddie beating him 7-3 is tough because Maddie's a great hitter, but you've got to really kind of assert yourself, in my opinion, and win the big wins. And if you can do that, then you are, in my mind, a top 3 potential player. So Nick has it. He just needs to. He needs that top player. It's hard to word it, he needs to crush someone. That's what I need to see. I need to see Nick just beat the crap out of someone. So maybe if he does that in the following weeks, then he will move up a little bit. But right now he's at the 4 spot, and I don't see him going much higher just yet. But who knows? Who knows what could happen? Coming in at our number 3 spot, we've got a new player to the club. It is Connor. You may know him as Peacock Slayer if you're active in the Discord community. He is a fantastic player. He's one of the people who mod this game, and he does incredible work on that. And, it translates pretty well to his knowledge of the game because he's a very, very smart player and very strong contender. I mean, I have him all the way up at number 3 after 1 week. Now, you look at his record, 4-3. It might not look great. But, his losses came to myself, Lionel, and Maddie, all strong players. And he crushed T-Bling. He beat Dennis. He beat Dennis 6-1. That is a convincing victory over Dennis. And, like you can see here, he pretty much smacked Jason. He crushed Billy. He crushed T-Bling. He beat Dennis. I did kind of, I kind of smacked him around, but it's not a big deal. He's got the potential to stick in this spot. He's got the potential to be the best player in the club if he keeps improving. And it's just, playing against Connor is very difficult. He's a very great, smart player. He knows what he's doing. And a win over Dennis is nothing to sell short. I think that he has the potential to move up. I don't personally see him moving down. I can't imagine him going lower than the 3 spot, which is pretty weird to say for someone who just joined, but I really do think that he has the potential to be, the best player. Now, I personally, I kind of crushed him the first time around, but he also beat Dennis. It's hard to say. Sometimes you just have people's numbers, sometimes you don't. Who knows? But Connor, absolutely a great player. Very happy to have him in the club. We're very excited to play against him. Now on the number 2 spot, it's me again. I still think I'm the second best player in the club behind the obvious number 1, Dennis. I had a great week. My only loss coming to Maddie. I beat T-Bling, I beat Dan, Jason, and Connor. So, Connor a big win, T-Bling a big win, and Jason, it was a title match actually. That's down in the channel as well. You can definitely watch that. It was a defense of my championship belt from last season, so that was very exciting. But yeah, it was, I had a good week. I gave up, besides the game to Maddie, I gave up 4 runs in 4 games, or 5 runs in 4 games. So I was pretty locked in. Besides, again, that 1 game, I really feel like I'm playing well this season. I feel like I'm on my game, and it's going to be hard to dethrone me from this number 2 spot, and I'm coming for that number 1. I don't think I have it yet. I think Dennis still has it, but I'm confident that I'm playing real well this season. So definitely look out for me and watch every game I play in Dinger City. Description down below. And all right, our final player for week 2 in the number 1 spot, it's Dennis. He's 4-2 on the season, a win over Billy and Andrew and a loss to Connor. Now, he didn't play many games, but again, he's Dennis, and it's really hard in my mind to consider anyone a better player than Dennis, regardless of, if he lost to Connor or if he only played 2 games. But look, he played Billy, he mercied him. He played Andrew, he beat Andrew. That's a good win. So Dennis just, unless he really starts, just beating up on the bad players and losing to the good players, I don't see him losing this number 1 spot. I would like to see him play more games, but that's not really my call. But it's hard to say anyone's better than Dennis right now. Do I think he has potential to move down to the number 2 or potentially even number 3 spot? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. I don't think so. It's really hard to say that Dennis is worse than anyone. And, maybe that day will come. Maybe Connor will take that number 1 spot, or maybe I'll take it. Who knows? But right now, Dennis, he's an absolute god at this game. He's the best player I've ever seen. I've never seen someone play better than him. So I think, Dennis is the best player. If you disagree with me, you're insane. Ton of respect for that guy. He is absolutely incredible at this game, and maybe the day will come where I can consider myself better than him, and that would be a big accomplishment in my opinion. But as of right now, Dennis is holding on to that number 1 spot. So that's all I got for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about my power rankings. Do you think it's whack that I have Lionel over Jason? Do you think that maybe Nick should be lower or higher? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing this every week as long as I have the time to, so definitely be sure to tune in every time. I've been Mr. Joe, this has been my baseball show, and I appreciate you watching. See you next time.